What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. And for today's video, we are carrying on the tradition of post-event vlogs. We're going to talk about the Atlanta home series. We're going to talk about my matches, other matches, FaZe versus OpTic. That was like the highlight moment of this entire event. I'm going to give deep dive you guys into my series, what went right and wrong for Dallas and London. And we're just going to talk about the weekend. So I hope you guys enjoy. Just keeping it short and simple. Let's get started. So starting off with our series versus Dallas, didn't go too well. We got 3-0 in about 25 minutes. You know, those guys are the defending world champions for a reason. They made no roster changes over the offseason, so they're kind of picking up right where they left off in Modern Warfare. You know, they're an incredible respawn team and an incredible S&D team, so trying to find chinks in the armor and like places that you can maybe steal maps is super difficult against those guys. And you know, obviously my team, we have 3 new players and we've been together the entire season. Obviously, like we didn't make any changes like London had or anything like that, but it's still learning. You know, it's early days in the season, and coming out and playing Dallas first series, it's not too great. You know, they kind of had their way with us, to be honest with you. I think the only close map was the S&D, and even then it really wasn't that close if you think about it. They stomped us in the hard point and 3-0'd us on garrison control, and you know, they were just playing super well. There's nothing really to take away from that series. Couldn't really get too down on ourselves for that. I know it was gonna be a really difficult series for us to take a map, let alone win. So you know, I wasn't too disappointed when we lost. It was more of a learning thing. So got 3-0'd by Dallas. Again, having them first series wasn't ideal. And then going into our London series, that was the one that I was really wanted to focus on. Like I said, I didn't write off Dallas as a loss, but I wasn't, like I said, I couldn't be too mad at that. But the London series was definitely the one that I was more focused on for the weekend. I knew that we stacked up well against those guys based off of scrim results, and I knew that our vetoes and map pool against those guys was definitely going to favor us, and what we got actually did favor us. So just taking it map by map. First map was Crossroads Hardpoint. We made a lot of mistakes and still ended up squeaking it out. I think we won 250 to like 220 or something like that. Like I said, we made a lot of mistakes on the map and still managed to eke it out. Pierce went for like 40 real kills, not EK. The guy was absolutely frying. We figured out the night before that he was playing on 60 hertz instead of 240, so I guess his third eye opened up and his potential was unlocked for that map. So shout out to Big P. Nice little 40 bomb to start out, so we're up 1-0. Going into checkmate S&D, we almost threw the shit out of checkmate S&D. We were up 5-2, 4-2, something like that. They actually made the comeback for round 11, and your boy, you know, had to get the nice little 2-piece round. You know what I'm saying? I think I had like 10. Pierce had 12. So we it was definitely sloppy, but we played the map pretty well. There's a moment, I think Alex had a 2v1 when we were up like 5-2 or 4-2 or something like that to close it out. And we just misplayed a little bit. I think Pierce like took a bad challenge or something like that, and they took that momentum all the way to round 11. Luckily, like I said, we ended up clutching that one, thank God. So at this point, we're up 2-0. We're feeling pretty good. Garrison control is up next. We did have defense first, which if you guys aren't aware of how garrison control typically plays, you win 3 defenses most of the time. Most garrison controls end up going to a round 5 defense favored, obviously, but London squeaked out an offense on us. I had a pretty tough misplay. Halfway through their second offense, I made a pretty bad play when Dylan ended up sneaking through green, and he shot me in the side because I didn't think he was going to come back to try to kill me. I figured he was going to go try to stop the time on 8 point because it was dwindling down a little bit. That was my fault entirely. I think that was probably the reason we lost the map. I had an overall, like, I was playing the map well. I was the reason we were not losing and not winning the map at the same time. It's like a weird thing. I was making plays and also costing. It was a conundrum. So we threw an offense, and then obviously they won their 2 defenses. So we lost garrison control, and then checkmate hardpoint just was close. Checkmate is not a map that I'm a fan of in any capacity for any mode whatsoever. They body bagged us on checkmate hardpoint. I think we got like 110 points, 115 points, something like that. Their subs were just absolutely smoking us. I think they ran 3 AK-74s. So you know, the pacing was just super hectic. They like to play like that with Dylan and Alex, just in your face constantly, just trade. That's kind of how they play respawn. So they smoked us. Hats off to them on that one. And then game 5 raid S&D, baby. Ooh. Honestly, we started out 2-0. I was feeling really good, and then Haggy went on I think he got like a 7 kill streak in 2 rounds and got streaks, and at that point I was like, sheesh, bro, this guy won champs in Black Ops 2, like raids his map, it might be chalked. But luckily they ended up throwing the streaks away. I made a huge play in that streak round. I got a 2-piece in open steps with the bomb as well on A. So they burgered their streak, and then we carried that momentum into, I think, a 5-2 or a 6-2 or a 6-3 victory. I don't remember exactly. But we played that map super well. It was a map that we're very familiar with. We have a lot of strats, and that's just a map that we're really comfortable on. So it's like I said in the beginning of the video, our map set and the vetoes for the series were really heavily favored for us. Ended up going game 5 when it really should have been a 3-0, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. It feels good to be able to win a series, man. I haven't beaten anyone other than the Gorillas in like a year. I don't count the Minnesota one because they had a sub, but I think Haggy is a very, very good addition to London. Just speaking about their overall really quickly, I think that Chris actually deserves to be in the league. I think he's very good at this game, and his reputation kind of precedes him when it comes to opportunities and stuff like that. So I am very happy. I know that it's a weird spot with coronavirus and Trey not being able to travel, so I don't know how long his stint is going to be on London or if he's going to get a league opportunity afterwards, but I think he should. I think Chris is actually a really good player this year. So that's enough about my match. And then just getting into the other series from the weekend just a little bit. I think all of the really good series happened on Sunday. Minnesota ended up upsetting Dallas. I think that was one that I'm pretty sure 95% of people were immediately writing off Minnesota, and they ended up sealing it. So I think that team is definitely one to beat. That was the dark horse team that I think everyone kind of predicted before the season started. So while it was a surprise that Dallas ended up losing the series, I think that Minnesota would have been the team to beat them, if that makes sense. They ended up winning it in game 5 as well. I think Lamar went off in the game 5 S&D. The OpTic FaZe series, I'm sure that's what all of you guys ended up clicking on this video for. I made a tweet, if you guys were on Twitter during the series, saying that Dallas, FaZe, and OpTic had some of the best respawn gameplay of any teams of anyone in the league. And whenever they play each other, it's just the caliber of game is just elevated. I think that those two hard points were some of the best that we're going to see in the season. Tyler got 2 of the most insane game-saving pieces I think I've ever seen. I'm sure all of you guys know the one I'm talking about on Brandon. That was a kill that he should never get. I don't know how he pulled that one off. The series was kind of a letdown in terms of the S&D. I think OpTic won 1 round total in 2 S&D maps. So definitely back to the drawing board for them there, but I think people are kind of overreacting a little bit. FaZe is obviously going to be one of, if not the best search and destroy teams in the game. And while getting 6-0, 6-1 doesn't look good, you kind of you don't want to take it with a grain of salt or sand or whatever. But when you play the best S&D team in the game, and you're not too strong on the mode, that's what it's going to look like. So I don't know if they're going to go back to the drawing board or if they're going to try to play their teams and see where they can actually gauge themselves. But FaZe they look dominant in S&D, and that's obviously what ended up winning the series for them. So while the hard points were bangers and the S&Ds were definitely not, I think Control is really just a game mode that is super polarizing in this game for some reason. Well, not for some reason, but it's just really polarizing in this game. I think in Black Ops 4 with 5v5 and Specialist, the playmaking potential and basically the bailout of Specialist created hype moments and better plays for Control, as opposed to this game where it's a lot more spawn trap heavy. The best comparison I can give you guys is Control in this game plays like Seaside. Every single map plays like Seaside, if you guys remember. It's just, if you're on defense, you shouldn't lose. That's literally just how it is. And the other maps in Black Ops 4, you had really good potential to win offenses. And in this game, you can. It's just the level of play required to win offenses or misplay if you're on the defense team. It's just, I don't know, Control isn't what it was in Black Ops 4. So like I said, a lot of people are kind of bored with it. As the year goes on and the meta starts to shift and teams start to figure out things to help win offenses, I'm sure it'll get more entertaining and strategies will start to change. But early Control is just so defense favored right now because the game is still young. So you guys are probably gonna have to end up suffering watching Control for a little while. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I mean, I'm just excited for the CDL to be back. There's a lot of Call of Duty with the schedule overhaul. We're playing essentially every single weekend, so you guys are never going to be bored. I think we get 3 days or 4 days off during the week, and then it's just straight back in every single weekend to actual CDL matches. So there's going to be an influx of Call of Duty. Definitely, it's going to be a long grind for sure over the course of the season. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will continue to do these. Update you guys where we are in terms of my team and what I thought of the weekends. So like I said, I'll do these after every single event, and hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.